the world's a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown. I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast, and it is a Friday, a feel-good, feels like summer Friday, 2026. It's the 17th of April, and we're out here to talk about what was trending during this past week. This spring week, was really hot. I'm wearing ankle socks now, and I don't know if I like it or not, but I ain't gonna complain anymore. So it's great to see you all. Let's talk about what was going on in this mid-April week. And before we do that, and let's talk about what was trending in sports, news, entertainment, and culture. And before we do that, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcast platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X at ProdConvoPod, TikTok at ProdConvoPod, Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, check us out on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. So busy week. It's the 5th show of this week. Next week's another busy one. On Monday, you will have a productive conversation about the first weekend in the NBA playoffs. Me and Faces will handle that for you. Me and Alec Reeves are going to talk about what happened this week in baseball. Another productive conversation there. Me and Ryan will discuss the NFL draft and preview that for you, and that will be available on Monday as well. The NFL draft is next Thursday, the 23rd of April, and we'll have an instant reaction to the first round of the NFL draft. That'll be available to you on Thursday night, and then we'll have our tweet caps on Tuesday and Friday to discuss what was trending in our world, again, across sports, news, entertainment, and culture. So now let's focus on this week and have a great time together as we take you into the weekend. It's Ryan Allison and Brett. Hello, everybody. It's great to see you.
Hello.
What's
Yeah,
up?
busy week. We got a lot happening, man.
That's right. How was everybody's week?
Long.
Yeah, this was actually a pretty long week. It went by slowly, which is, I don't know. Sometimes that's good,
Good.
sometimes that's bad. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope at least you can sit back, relax, wind down. And if it was a long week for you, well, we're going to make sure it's the start of a beautiful weekend. So let's do it, everybody. And let's talk about what was trending in our world and have a productive conversation about it right here, right now. So let's set it up. We had the most chaotic media crossover of our generation. We have the 30-mile zone TMZ. They've been taking care of celebrities, being the paparazzi. They've been ruining careers. They have been letting us know what's going on. And guess what? It's time to take that to Capitol Hill because TMZ just announced that they have opened an office in Washington, D.C., where Ryan hails. How about that? TMZ sent 3 producers to Capitol Hill as Congress returned from their recess. Harvey Levin said this is about showing where pop culture and politics overlap. Day 1, they courted Lindsey Graham and asked about the Disney World bubble wand photo. He put his hand in front of a camera and walked away. They confronted Ted Cruz and asked him to pick sides between Donald Trump and the Pope for an unnecessary beef between those two. Democratic staffers reportedly panic internally, warning aides not to freelance with TMZ. Levin's quote, who, by the way, is Harvey Levin, the founder, and I believe you consider him the CEO of TMZ. He said, quote, "Don't think 535 members of Congress are going to scurry away from reporters."
Yep.
And yeah, so TMZ has an office in Capitol Hill. TMZ will be looking out and maybe, is it fair to say, protect the American people? Or expose them, if you will. So lots going on there. But, I mean, TMZ has, like I said, they've breaking down stories. They're usually right. You never see them lose a defamation or libel case. Usually when they report, even if it's in an unethical, immoral way, It is usually correct. And now they see where the money is and are going to try to, let's say, hold politicians accountable. So my question, is this a good thing or a bad thing for democracy?
I think it's a mix because like TMZ, while they've won all their court cases, part of me thinks that they win them because of the way that Fox News used to win their cases back in the day when like Tucker and all those guys used to get sued because Fox's defense in court, and there's court documents that prove this, their court documents claim that Fox's defense was, oh, well, this is an opinion show. No one intelligent would trust an opinion show with the news. And something tells me there were similar defenses of TMZ. They're like, oh, we're entertainment. No one in their right mind who's actually smart would trust entertainment. So I feel like it's good for TMZ to kind of expand their horizons because let's face it, there's not really many stupid celebrity stories like there were back in the day.
They learned to stay away from them.
Yeah, they learned to kind of stay away from them, especially with Chappelle to make money off of for them. And I think maybe they just want to have a serious side because obviously the people who break news are the newspapers and the big channels, and because they're relatively smaller, they want to be ones to do that. But also, let's not forget, believe they're owned by one of the big conglomerates. So
TMZ, I could check
I think
that
they
out.
are. I'm pretty sure they're owned by. I think they might be owned by Universal, which
They're
would be
owned by
Fox
the
Corp.
Fox Corporation.
Yeah, so they're owned by, well, not
Rupert Murdoch.
Are they owned
Yep.
by that Fox or are they owned by like Disney Fox? Because Disney bought 21st Century Fox and they bought everything besides Fox News.
They are owned by Fox Corporation.
Corp.
Okay, so they're owned by the people who own Fox
So
News.
yeah, News Corp and Fox then.
All right, so
That's
they're
it.
owned by
Rupert
the people
Murdoch.
who own them in FS1. So
Yeah, Lachlan now, right?
yeah,
But
so
yeah, Lachlan Murdoch.
yeah, so the Murdochs own TMZ.
Yeah.
So the other bad thing is this going to just be another opportunity for Fox News to sneak in another version of reporting?
I don't think so, because we've seen, at least recently, right? We've seen the direction that Levin is planning to take this, like during the shutdown. And I mean, obviously, he's definitely hit on both sides a little bit, but he certainly seems to be directing most of his fire where it belongs, which is at the people who are doing most of the corrupt things publicly. And that happens to be from one party at this moment in American history anyway. But I don't know that I would say this is a negative for democracy. I don't know if I'll go positive. I think that this is completely neutral. I won't say mixed. I don't think it has anything. This is like TMZ doing its job is theoretically what all of the news people should be doing, right? There's nothing stopping CNN from doing this other than their business model. There's nothing stopping Fox News from doing this other than their business model.
There's nothing stopping NBC, CBS,
Right, yeah. You name any large group, and the only reason that they don't do what TMZ does is their business model. They make their money on TV. I think that that's an important thing to say. All the other major news networks, their print publication is basically dead if they even ever had one. They have stories online, fine, but they make most of their money on TV. Cable news, politics, and news is just people screaming at each other about a couple of different things, depending on what the week is. So the idea of like interviewing a politician in the hallway, no one is doing that. So in my opinion, TMZ is just filling a gap that currently does not exist on Capitol Hill, save for like, I guess The Hill does this. PBS probably tries to do this. NPR probably has somebody who like works there. You know what I mean? Like there are smaller, less well-known groups that probably still do this, but TMZ is just supercharging it. And also, I mean, I said this to Matt. Let's just be honest. These people go on TV all the time. Half the folks in Congress, both sides, too. This is not even just a GOP thing. They just want to be famous, if we're being completely honest.
That's what I was gonna ask. Like, think about it. For all these politicians that want to be on television and
Now
want
they
to be
are.
celebrities,
There you go.
you get what you wish for, right? What does that tell you, though, that they're terrified of TMZ?
Because
It tells you that they're not celebrities.
Yes, because TMZ has a habit of finding dirt, and also they have a habit of, and Steve-O from Jackass said this once, is that TMZ seems to have a habit of getting important people's information somehow, some way,
Money.
and well, yeah,
Pay
like
for it.
yeah, but he said that like the way he found out, so this is how crazy they are. The way he found out Ryan Dunn passed away was he got a call at 6 in the morning from a TMZ reporter asking for a comment. That's how he found out. So someone paid for Steve-O's personal cell phone number. So my question is, how is this going to work with politicians? Are they going to start paying people for the cell phone numbers of our Congress
Yes.
people?
No,
That'd be
Brett, I'm not even...
Or maybe they'll just quit before they get exposed.
But in all seriousness, I have gone to enough events. I'm not involved in government, but my wife is. And I've gone to enough events. I've met enough staffers from like when she was at Rutgers and she was in some programs. So her, whatever, I guess coworkers or colleagues, whatever, they don't get paid. I think it's people don't really understand the money that comes in politics is not coming from anyone's salary. I would say, frankly, even the folks like the Congress people. I mean, don't get me wrong,
at all.
they're
They make,
not.
like, no money.
I mean, they make plenty of money. I would be happy with their salary, but I'm saying, as a general rule, it's not like CEO money, right? But for the people under them, the interns, they don't get paid like anything. They might like have a house that they all live in, that the office pays for, and they get no salary, and they gotta do whatever to make money to buy food. Like, and I'm being as serious. There are kids from Harvard.
They're hoping to get
Yale.
kept on, by the way. They're hoping to get kept
There
on.
are kids from Harvard.
It's
from
all
Yale.
commission job.
Not even commission, Matt. It's do good, and then when I have something
You
like
get
for
in,
real,
basically.
I'll bring you in. But you got to do good until I have
That
something
sounds
for real.
awful.
It is, and they do it because if they can hack it, obviously they get proximity to power, which people love. Power is absolutely the draw in Washington, not money. And I'll be honest, not everyone's going to make it, but everyone has to eat. So yes, TMZ showing up with $50,000, going to some interns and being like, I need you to listen to what the chief of staff says at the next meeting closely. They will abso-fucking-lutely do it.
Yeah,
Especially
I've
for
heard they're
someone-
offering as much as like
100K.
6 figures for stories.
Yeah. So to be
It's
completely
going
honest
down.
with you, to be
I'm hyped
honest with
about
you,
this.
burn the government to the ground.
there are absolutely people
Yeah.
who
The purge.
realize they get, they get ignored for one promotion, or they get chewed out by an angry congressman one day who hasn't had their breakfast. And you know what? They're going to say, screw this. They're going to go ahead. They're going to collect 6 figures because they're not getting paid. And they're not going to worry. Because here's the thing about, as much as you say they're going down, an individual could go down, right? We saw in California that sex pest is gone. We saw in Texas a separate sex pest go.
Matt Gaetz is
Gonzalez.
slowly fading out of the limelight.
So yeah, like
It's starting to work.
You could tank I'm saying you could tank a person. Congress is not going anywhere. It's the government. It's literally how things are supposed to happen.
Yeah,
So
with
there's
no Congress, there's no
always
government.
going to be somebody who says, "Why not me?" and run for office. We will never have a complete shortage of people who think they should be in charge. So yeah,
Somebody
I do think
come get her.
right. I do think
Dancing
staffers
like
are
a
going to turn.
stripper.
I do think staffers are going to turn on their bosses. I do think some of their bosses are going to get fired, certainly lose elections. Is that a good thing? I don't know. I think it's a neutral thing, but it is going to happen, my opinion.
Like I said, hold these people accountable. Go get them.
You know who's next? You know who's next coming in? E. E News is next.
E News for
I don't
E-News
think
DC.
E. I think E will
E News
stay
for
where
press
it
corps.
is.
DCE. DCE.
Yeah, I think E's going to stay where it is, but I think the TMZ thing makes sense. There's enough politicians behaving badly for TMZ to be there.
Like I said, that's where the money is. That's literally what I would say to Harvey Levin, the 40-year looking 80-year-old.
Yeah, he's like 80. He's old.
Yeah, he looks like he's
Who's the
only like
dude that's like
35.
his right hand man? Because he looks
I
old
don't
now
know.
too. What's his name? I
He's
don't
fun.
remember his name.
Good question. That was my mom's favorite show, TMZ. Literally.
Oh, my mom loves TMZ too, or
By,
loves. I don't
by
think
the
she
way,
watches
guys,
anymore. But
suggestions for jobs. Allison, screw your job. You know what you should do? You should just, go intern for some local congressman in New York City and just tell TMZ you'll sell it to them for 100K.
yeah, but the
Yeah.
congressman has to do something. That's the key.
Yeah.
Listen so
Who-
closely to one, you hear someone say something that you hear someone say something so illegal, and you're just like, gotcha. Here's 100. Here, pay me 100K. You have a story.
Whoa,
Got
he's
him.
got one. He's got one hell of a name, man. Charles Letiberdier. Wow, that's a name.
Huh. Well,
He's
yeah,
the producer.
Harvey Levin is 75 years old.
Yeah, and this other guy is 57 now.
Man.
6'2" as well. Wow, he's tall.
I remember. Listen, I get the TMZ, I get criticism and stuff, and it is tabloid journalism, but it really is fascinating what goes on there and the stuff that they know and haven't released yet.
I don't think they're that bad. I will go out I will go out and I'll
Oh,
say that.
I
I don't dislike TMZ.
Here's the thing. I don't think that they're bad. I think that they're unethical.
Well,
And
yeah, I mean they obviously
there's
don't care about people.
there's a difference
but-
between bad quality work and unethical work. And when they write their stories and have their videos, they do put together some good quality content. The bad thing is it was
How they got that.
it was how they got it. Like it was very
Hey, Russini should work for them.
yeah, Russini should go to
They'll be in
TMZ.
on that.
I bet you they're gonna hire her tomorrow.
One thing we found out as we transition to that story next is that TMZ was offered the Russini and Vrabel story
Well, you were telling me
first,
this, yeah.
and they were considering posting it. Page 6 agreed to do it first, but they had an ethical code because of how they actually got the photos that they will. It might be what I'm saying. They do have a code. You might have to really push them for it, but there's a code, and basically because they didn't know where the photos come from, and it was technically a private moment, they were hesitant to do it. Now, if you cheat in the middle of public, they have no problem exposing you. But
Well, right.
it
Yeah,
was
they
just
weren't
how
at a
that PI
restaurant
got it.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think
I thought that was
TMZ's
interesting.
I think if we're really honest about TMZ, the thing everyone gets mad about is they will call a person's family like
Yeah,
minutes
that's how
after
you
they
find
die.
out. Yeah, like
And
as Brett mentioned, and I think
Right.
Kobe Bryant's
I
family
was gonna
found
say
out.
the
yes,
Kobe
Kobe
Bryant
Bryant's
thing
family.
happened
So
because of that.
I
too.
do frankly think that, and obviously they seem to have no qualms with that, and I personally do have qualms with that. But I think if we were all sitting here just being honest about TMZ, that's really the only mark against them. From what we know, they don't force anyone to do anything. They're not
True.
lying. They're just doling out large sums of cash to people with information to share that information publicly. Which again, maybe isn't the most ethical thing a person's ever done, but it's a far cry from like stealing. You know what I mean? They're not stealing, they're
Mhm.
not spying. That's why they wouldn't take the pictures because they were like, we don't know who took these pictures. Some dude in a bush filming them in their hotel room
right.
is not something we're interested in. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I do think there's that.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a fine line. It's interesting, but they are around now. They might run into Ryan. They might run into Ryan already. For
I
all we
wouldn't
know.
know.
It's like as a former journalist myself, I was for 1 year, I was a journalist in Nebraska. I will tell you that like
You
the
were the
whole
third person I know. I mean that genuinely, who was a journalist in Nebraska.
Oh God.
I didn't realize
awesome.
Nebraska had
Go
so many
Corn.
journalists. Yeah, yeah. What did you guys? What did you all cover there?
Oh God, there's
Like a
I mean, well,
Fargo type of
well,
murder mystery.
no, I did cover a murder one time and a court trial. But one thing I will say is that first, I mean, for context, the market I was in was called Siouxland. Siouxland is Sioux City, Iowa.
Sioux City, yeah.
Yeah, Sioux City, Iowa, um, the southeast portion of South Dakota.
You
which-
probably know this. Like, I know someone who still
Yeah,
works in Iowa
yeah,
now,
which
but
which
started
is-
in Nebraska.
And so yeah, southeast South Dakota, which is on the border of Sioux City, Iowa, which by the
Mhm.
way, in Nebraska, there's a town called South Sioux City. In Iowa, there's Sioux
There's Sioux
City.
City, yeah.
And then in South Dakota, there's North Sioux City. And they're all within like 15 minutes of each other.
Hmm.
So I was in a town of Nebraska called Norfolk, which was an hour and a half from Sioux City. So it was the same market. So I was covering northeastern Nebraska. And as a former journalist, I can tell you there's some crazy, wacky people in journalism. And
Mhm.
honestly, TMZ is just those wacky people. And
Mhm.
and honestly,
They all work for the same guy.
they all
That's
got to
what it
work for the
is.
same place. And I met some crazy ass reporters when I was out there, like just people who are just kind of out there. And TMZ is those people. And look, they're what they have no qualms with what they do, and I have a lot of qualms with it because I'm like, I got my stories from other sources, or sometimes, a lot of the times, we get stuff from the local newspapers and then we would make it bigger because that's just how small market journalism works. But it's like TMZ, the whole problem with TMZ, which I hope is not going to be the problem now, is this. Every time TMZ says there's a headline, everyone else goes to Google and tries to find if it's true because it's TMZ. So my
I
question
do.
is,
Yeah, that does happen.
so my question is that not going to happen as much? Because if you're in the White House press corps, people seem to believe what you say.
Well, frankly, I think of the people in the White House press corps, TMZ is the most likely to publish the truth. If you want my honest opinion.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the
That's a
Pentagon
great
factually
that's a
kicked
great take.
everybody. Yeah, the Pentagon kicked everybody like actually out of the
Okay,
press corps.
but let's be honest. It wasn't the Pentagon. It was Pete Hegseth. Let's
Well, it's his Pentagon. He's in
I
charge
know,
of
but
it.
like the Pentagon in general, even under other Republican presidencies,
Oh yeah.
they
No,
had they
this
never
guy,
had
yeah,
like the people who
this guy.
actually, like the people who run the operations of the Pentagon, never had any issues with
No. It's
having
just the one
officers.
guy in charge now. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, I do genuinely believe of all the people who cover this administration, like that are in the room, TMZ may genuinely be the most likely not to lie about it.
You just have TMZ guy
TMZ is going to
in there.
mask themselves as another department in the Pentagon and have a secret office in there, and they're going to break every story to the point where the Trump
No,
administration is going to be
I
like,
think
"Where
they're
are you
going to get
getting all
kicked.
this shit?"
I think they're going to get kicked out. I think that he's going to get mad and kick them out of the press room. And I think that that's going to be a massive story because unlike CNN and NBC and these folks who have to try and pretend they have like this decorum because Walter Cronkite in the 60s was their news anchor,
Mhm.
Levin is not going to just quietly go away. I think
No,
that's honest to goodness the best part
it's
is
good.
when
It's gonna be Richard Nixon Washington Post Part Two.
sort of
Yeah, that's what's
yeah.
gonna happen.
But again,
Somebody come get her.
all these other folks, they have to pretend like they're still these institutions that, Woodward with Nixon, or like I said, Walter Cronkite on CBS. They have these legacies that they're trying to protect that really nobody cares about but them. TMZ doesn't have that. So they piss TMZ off. TMZ's just gonna say it.
Yeah, and
This is
honestly,
getting me excited.
TMZ is gonna it's
Well,
gonna
we'll
be
have to see. It's just
well,
started, so
it's
we'll
gonna
see what happens.
it's gonna be what happened with Pentagon Papers, because like Nixon didn't like that those got exposed, and that he was low key just dragging on the Vietnam War, and he was like, I don't want the Washington Post in here anymore. They're barred. And then they sued for millions of dollars, by the way, and won because they were like, you're violating our First Amendment rights.
That's
And
right.
that's
Nobody's winning
See the movie
against
The
this
Post based
administration.
on that.
yeah, that's what's going to happen to TMZ. They're going to get banned after like breaking a story about like another sexual predator in Congress, and they're going to be like, "We're banning TMZ," and then they're going to sue the hell out of the administration, and they're going to win.
It
Yeah, but
takes
then we have to pay 'em.
one major story. And I have to say one last thing. Like I said with Harvey Levin, I do respect the stuff he does. And I just remember one story. The story's not necessarily relevant. But you saw in real time a major story breaking. That dude's really good at his job. All right, call this person, call that person. You go here, you go there. With find press release, I was like, wow, I love leadership like that. As long
Also,
as you use it for good.
I just looked up
Yeah.
a picture of him. I can't believe he's 75.
Yeah, he's 75 years
My
old.
God, he looks good. I swear he
I
has
know, right?
all the commercials I see, like when you
And
see those TMZ commercials and he's on the commercial, he looks exactly the same.
And you'd think for a guy like him, that's a stressful job. Not one
Well,
bit.
not for him. It's stressful for everybody else. He's
I
not
know,
stressed. They're not taking
He
pictures
just tells
for
people
him.
what to do. They just got to do it.
Literally, they have to be scared of him.
Yeah, they're not taking pictures of him.
Allison, does
guy.
this guy look 75 to you?
Let me see. No,
See? And to be fair, even though it says 2010,
it's not
He
a
still looks
great
like that.
picture, but yeah, Silver Fox. Let's go.
It's very
Silver Fox.
It's a bit of a silver fox, actually. I agree.
Yeah. Daddy for
Us.
sure.
Well, I don't know about daddy. I think
Well,
that's a
he's
bit much,
gay,
but-
so
Well, later, guys.
He's somebody else's dad.
well, that too.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't even think he was
is
gay.
Silver Fox and gay.
I didn't know he was gay. That's a new fact I learned too.
Yep,
I
the
think we
more
all
you
agree
learn.
Anderson Cooper is the Silver Fox, and he's gay too, so it's fine.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
wasn't. We all knew he was gay from day one.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Well, let's go from one journalism related story to another. And it's rare when a story lasts 3 productive conversations, but
This is Matt's
it
favorite
keeps
story.
coming. No, it's literally, it gives us a viral moment every 2 days, this story. This is the last part. Russini's down now. Now we got to see what Vrabel does, and it's over after that. So, but yep, as we continue on with Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel, the New York Post, as you know, last week published photos of Russini and Dianna of now former athletic reporter Dianna Russini and the Patriots head coach Mike Vrabel holding hands and hugging at a luxury resort in Sedona, Arizona. Both are married to other people, and it got pretty ugly online. Well, criticism towards her, a lot more criticism towards her than Mike Vrabel. The Athletic did defend her, but on Tuesday, she resigned from the Athletic permanently. She resigned, and instead of submitting to the investigation, the Athletic asked her to be involved in, and they're still going to do.
Yeah.
And in her resignation letter, she did not address the relationship of the letter. She instead talked about how instead she discussed how the amount of controversy, paraphrasing here, but the amount of controversy involved with this isn't worth experiencing anymore. So she quit, but she didn't address the nature of the relationship nor make an apology. The Athletic did confirm that the review of her work will continue, and at this moment, she is a free agent. Mike Vrabel declined to join a press conference for the Patriots for the draft this week. He's not expected to speak until the draft itself. So that's what we have now. Russini's no longer at the Athletic. Mike Vrabel has still not been held accountable for his actions. And yeah, you know, the thing here with the Russini letter, and I do feel bad for her, as I mentioned last week, but I feel this was a good chance to apologize. At least acknowledge the situation and that it didn't look good. Or at least if there's anyone to apologize to, most importantly, is her family. Beyond anything, her kids and husband.
Right, which is
And-
what I
But
was.
does she have to do that in a resignation letter? She probably
No.
does that already.
No, she doesn't have to, but I feel for her public perception, it would have
Yeah.
at least released some of the tension. No, she didn't owe it to the people, but I feel at least would have helped the situation instead of continuing the story, like people like us continuing to talk about it just because it gives us something to talk about here. And
I do think,
like I said,
you're
the
both
last
right.
pillar to fall. I think the last pillar to fall is Mike Vrabel's comment. He has to say something. He's literally picking somebody to join his team, a few people to join his team on Thursday. That'd be so wild if he ignores it. He
You ever
couldn't
think
get
Mike-
asked it.
I think he will. I think he's a little bitch.
I
don't
think he's
he'll
going to
say it.
ignore it.
Do you ever think his publicist is screaming in his ear, saying
No.
say something, and he's ignoring his publicist?
Absolutely. 1000%. Even the Patriots. Even Robert, you know, we make fun of how the Patriots, this is the Patriot way.
It
Crap
is.
sex controversy. Tom Brady's weird situationship. Bill Belichick's gross relationship. Aaron Hernandez, Stephon Diggs. They at least acknowledge and apologize for some situation.
The
Sure,
Patriots,
that's true.
dude. The Patriot scandals are it's sex, cheating, drugs, and murder. That's
Yeah.
what the Patriots do. Sex,
That's like
cheating,
all of
drugs, and
them.
murder.
And
I don't
they
think there's
made-
any other scandal that you can
And
have.
beating women. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
There's violence writ large. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Antonio Brown is beating women.
Stephon Diggs, I'm
Stephon
pretty sure
Diggs.
did too.
Oh, that's right. Diggs did
Yeah.
too. Jesus.
So my thing, though, I'll say this: I actually think both. I don't think Matt and Allison are saying like different. They're saying different things, rather. I don't think they have to be connected. Allison, I think you are 100% right. I do think it's a little bit strange that we expected her to apologize to her husband or her kids in a public letter because, and I don't need an apology from her. She didn't do anything wrong to me.
Should
I
she that should be something to be done in general, but not in a public letter.
Right. So I agree
Like
with you,
yes, that has to be
Allison,
done, but not in front of
that
the press.
right. So I get that. I agree with that. Like the idea that she needed to apologize, which seems to be the generic thought amongst folks right now, I think is wrong. I do think, though, for just being honest, if her intention is to continue working in public, I mean, a position of public trust, we can't pretend she's not. It's not life or death, it's sports journalism, but still then you do eventually have to address the public, right? Like you cannot have it both ways. This is kind of
Address
like
me.
But
this is kind of like
I think
Chappelle wrong.
it's more so the addressing aspect rather than the apologetic aspect.
Well, right, but she didn't really address it either.
But I'm
She,
saying like eventually, like if it
oh,
does
sure,
come to
yeah,
the
yeah,
point,
yeah.
like I think I would rather just have her address the elephant in the room, as we say, rather than apologize. Because like you said, she didn't do anything to
Yeah.
us. We
Right,
we
yeah.
weren't the ones she harmed or did anything. If anything, it kind of sucks because she was having a private moment with someone who she thought she had like feelings and relations for, and that was kind of exploited. So if anything, maybe she should be receiving partial an apology.
Yeah,
But
It
exactly. That's
seems
more.
though
I'll
that
even
this was
retract what I
her.
said because that's what should have been. She did address. You should have addressed what is going on.
Yeah, what
Hence,
happened?
because she didn't, that's why the story's going to continue.
Yes. That's what I mean. That's why I do think you were both right. Like again, the apology bit that can be private or whatever. That's for her and her family to work out. But if she plans on working in the public trust, she eventually has to tell the public what happened to some degree.
mhm.
And she tried a little bit at the very beginning with this. There was like six other people business. No one believed it. Nothing has come to corroborate that. So I would say if I
Yeah,
was her publicist or
she
if I
did
was
lie to us, but
well, if I was working with her, I would be like, all right, you had a strategy, and at this point in time, it has not worked. So you either need to back up what you previously said, right? Get something on the record that proves you weren't lying the first time, or fess up to the lie, be like, yes, it wasn't fair. And again, you don't have to apologize to anybody because she didn't hurt anybody else besides her family. The only thing I will say about the private moment thing is, and we don't know this what happened yet, so I reserve the right to change my mind. It's looking a little bit like her husband is probably behind what happened.
oh yeah, that's
Um,
one thing I've definitely
it's
realized.
becoming more and more. I think it's becoming more and more clear that her husband sent the guy to take the picture.
I
I'm
think that
just
he
saying he
wants.
did
I
a
think
great
he had a.
job.
I
He
think he
did
had.
great,
I,
great
I think he
photographer.
had a theory, and he wanted to get proof
Right.
Yeah.
but I don't think he expected it to go public. I think he.
No, no, no.
I think he
Yeah.
expected the whoever this guy was to come back with the photo, and then whenever Dianna Russini came back from the trip, he would hand her the photo and go, "Fucking explain that."
Right, but
I
page
think it
six
was.
paid more. Essentially, is what happened.
Page 6 paid.
So what I would say
Could I
is,
just say one
yeah.
thing, Ryan, before your point? I just could imagine that PI. He did what he was supposed to. I could only just imagine him in position.
How do he mask himself too? Like,
Yeah, he's in position, and he's just like, got him, boom, and that changed everything. This is such a good idea for a movie or a miniseries. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, but it really is.
I feel like it might be a little too small. We'll have to see what happens to Vrabel.
Love Story 2.0.
Love Story
Literally, yeah,
2.0.
that is such a Ryan Murphy
it'll be
story.
like more like Pam and Tommy 2.0.
I could just picture, like I said, just that moment. It's like,
Oh my
yeah, I'm
God.
The moment that shook
I
the
got
world of
it.
sports.
Boom.
Then you have Mike.
But-
you'll have Mike Vrabel on TV going, "I did not have sexual relations with."
But I will say though, to the point I was making, Allison, if that's the case, and this was her husband, while he may have his own personal qualms about it becoming public, he does not owe her an apology. He just doesn't.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't. I get what you're saying. Like, obviously, this has gone uber public and it's put her in a weird spot. And frankly, it's put him in a weird spot, if we're being honest. But you can't cheat on somebody and then demand an apology when they catch you. That's maybe I'm wrong for thinking that, but that is a personal Ryan rule. If you cheat and get caught, you can't be like, well, why were you spying on me? No. We're skipping that. We're skipping over the spying and we're going to the real problem. Oh, well, anyway, to me, I think that's important.
I have to say, if whoever needs a PI, you find that person, they'll find it.
Well,
And
that
that's
guy's
like that has to be like a famous
paparazzi now.
hotel. That must be a famous hotel room now. Like this was the room
Well, we don't know
that
the
this
room,
all
right? It was only
happened.
they were outside, right? So
Right, but I feel like it was what true or whatever. I don't know the
that
hotel, but
resort
I
though,
wonder.
that
I wonder that resort has had
well,
more
I
people
think they
come
might
up.
it might go the other way. People will be like, "Oh, I can't take my,
I can't
side
cheat
chick.
here.
I can't cheat here anymore. I might get
Remember
caught."
we remember we did that story. What was it? This the in Jersey. We
Oh
did
God,
that place.
what the hell's the name
It
of that
went
place?
that was semi-viral, that
The blue,
story.
what's it? The Blue Castle, something Castle. It was in
Blue
Linden.
Castle, maybe.
No,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
in Linden.
just a place notorious for people hooking up. But anyways, yeah, and the other thing that was interesting since this is the fact that we are now seeing NFL insiders actually comment on the story. There was a USA Today reporter who went and
Looped
had
in.
her and got fired, and she still stands by her comments. And we have Jamel Hill, who fights with everybody, who is
If we
online.
yeah, she likes
But
to fight.
she was talking about the double standards there, and there for sure is. There absolutely is. Especially Mike Vrabel. I do think Mike Vrabel should be held accountable one way or the other, or at least get called out. And people are mentioned in the Patriots facility. There's literal banners. Don't make the team look bad. Be a stand-up person. I'm paraphrasing. He literally didn't do that,
Dude,
despite him being a team that takes a really good coach that is taking his team to the Super Bowl. And that's also a good point. If he was like Aaron Glenn, he'd probably get fired with that record. But
can I be honest?
I think that honestly helped because he is a good coach.
I saw today, like this. You guys know who Dove Cliveman is or whatever on
Don't climb.
Twitter?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
What's it do?
The integrator account. Yes, I do.
Yeah, he's an ass.
Way too
Whatever.
familiar.
So he did this thing. He's been trying to
Such
do.
a troll.
He's been doing Vrabel PR for like a couple days now.
Oh my
And
god.
and he was,
That's rage baiting then.
yeah,
Raging
exactly. Oh,
baiting.
100%, and it worked. And so he was talking about how he leads the team in like Bible study.
I saw that story.
And then I
I've
was
seen
like, no, you can't possibly have put that up there with a straight face. Like, and I understand he does it for clicks, so he gets paid, and I know that I am helping him by being mad. But I'm just like, you can't possibly put that out there. Genuinely, please don't. There's no way a person could be like, you know what we should talk about today? Mike Vrabel's Bible study.
And he goes and volunteers at the Children's Hospital every Thursday. Like, come on.
And he's literally, thou shalt not commit adultery. That's like the third one? That's like a
Also,
pretty early one.
also making even if he does volunteer, it's like, guys, there's been plenty of horrible people that volunteered at charitable organizations.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I
he
mean,
cheated.
it's like
He's
it's
not,
like it's like, does that make it better? No. It's like, look at Jimmy.
I do
Savile.
I do think we should just clarify though. He cheated on his wife. He's not a Klansman, so far as we know. Like,
You're
yeah,
right.
he's clearly an ass. He's also clearly not getting in trouble in any meaningful way, and he should, if for no other reason than because the a person he was cheating with has had her whole life ruined. Um, but it's not, again, he's a cheater. I wouldn't call him a bad person. I mean, he's not a good husband. I'll go that far for sure. But
Okay.
you can make a mistake. You could cheating is the evil, like the end all evil. I'll, put that there.
Also,
Like I
if
said,
if you're gonna bring his belief or love of the Bible or just
Well,
like,
again, that was, to be clear, that's why I said who it was from, because it's like a
yeah,
90%
I
chance
know.
never happened, and that this guy's just trying to get people like me to quote tweet him, because that's how he gets paid on social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah, also Dov Kleiman saying I used to see him at Bible study is definitely just a bunch of bull crap because you hear that name. You know Dov Kleiman's not sitting in a church at Bible study.
No, he said that he learned that he currently leads Bible study.
Oh, that he currently leads. I was about to say, I think
Yeah.
Like I said,
I've seen him at
Mike-
Bible study.
No,
Like,
yeah,
Dov,
that would
what?
that would be
That's a load of
Brett,
crap.
that would be interesting if Dov Kleiman was at a Bible study. I agree. I'll give you that.
That's a load of crap
Mike-
if he said that.
Mike Vrabel has to say something. Time is ticking. You got till Thursday to say something, or you're gonna make the NFL draft about you and not for Fernando Mendoza. So
Well, he doesn't care
we'll
about
see what
Fernando
happens.
Mendoza.
But you know what I mean. Like, he will be the main story of the NFL draft. You got to say something, dude. It's over. It's over. You lost. Just restart from now on.
I'll be honest with you, Matt. I get what you're saying, but I really don't think he says anything.
He's not
Well, then
Genuinely.
that'd be something. He literally says, "No comment. I'm ignoring it. Ask me about my new lineman.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I think if what he's gonna say,
Who's gonna replace Stephon Diggs?"
I mean, he might
All
give
that.
that info, but I think he's genuinely. Okay, I just looked up who, what's his name? Kuiper thinks they're gonna pick. I think he's gonna come out there and say, Akeem Mesidor is a great defensive end. He's gonna talk about his 12.5 sacks at Miami.
That's not
58 pressures, 11 run stops for the season in 2025, and he's excited to have him on the team. And I think he's going to walk away. I really don't think he's going to talk about anything but the draft.
Yeah, you know what's so
Unbelievable,
funny?
then.
I was like, there's only one person that can get the truth out of this, and that's from Mike Vrabel in the situation, and he's not even a real person. His name is Ari Gold.
Well, there's two people. The other one being Dianna Russini, but she's not available.
You guys
Ari
don't.
Gold
You
from
guys
Entourage?
don't. Yes,
From Entourage?
yes. Because if Vince did something like this, he'd be like, "You got to say something, Vinny."
No, but
And now he'd be like, "Mike, you got to say something. What you're doing is not
He
good."
does.
that's essentially what Matt is trying to do.
Matt's just got to put the suit on and scream, "Lloyd!"
Damn right. I will do that. Anyways, we do have to move on, but
yeah.
What a fucking time. Okay. On to brighter things. Who loved the Chappelle show way back when?
Sure.
I like their sketch. I never watched the full show. I was too young to watch it, but seeing what I see now, it's great.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
watched
think I've ever seen it.
when they put it on Netflix. I binged it like a few years ago, but yeah, for 20 plus years, Dave Chappelle had the Chappelle show. He's been away from the Chappelle show, his famous Comedy Central sketch show. And in a new AP interview conducted at his home in Yellow Springs, Ohio, Dave Chappelle said he's, quote, considering a Chappelle show revival. Quote, if you asked me a year ago, I would have told you absolutely not. But in the last few weeks, I'm considering it. He walked away from the Chappelle show in 2005 in the middle of season 3, leaving behind $50 million, cited that burnout and feeling the show was getting away from him creatively led him to leaving the show. He said he'd do it his way or not at all. Currently, he's doing a massive arena tour in Australia, and he also addressed backlash to his comedy once again, saying his actual audiences have never wavered. So, yep, the original Chappelle show ran from 2003 to 2006. You can currently stream it on Paramount Plus. I think this would be such an awesome opportunity for Chappelle to come back and do the Chappelle show.
Well, so Matt, I also want to clarify, not saying you're wrong because he's done a million different things, but the Chappelle show as a show ran for 2 full seasons, and then the lost episodes that he was filming in season 3 aired in 2006 after he had already left the show, according to what so he had two seasons of that show, and they were offering him, I think it said, I saw that he was offered $50 million to keep going. But they proposed changes. And he didn't like the changes, so he turned down 50 mil. By the way, turning down 50 mil.
He didn't do it. He didn't do it twice.
Insane.
In 2005 too.
He did it once, but he had a similar opportunity recently where he did not say no to the money.
The Saudi Arabians.
He
The
won't let
Regina
that
Comedy
mistake play.
Central.
He
He
said,
said, "I'll take the 50 mil this
I
time around."
already kept my morals once. I'm not doing it twice."
Exactly. You see, like if Chappelle show comes back, here's the thing. It's like, is Dave Chappelle, but I'm very back and forth on Dave Chappelle. And it's just like, I think when Dave Chappelle is talking about stuff that he did in the past and funny stories, I think he's the best comedian out there when it comes to that. I don't think there's a better storyteller when he's telling that. Like the whole bit of he's talking about the foot the fifth time he met OJ Simpson, like all 5 times that he met him, and just like it's one of the most hilarious bits. And then he
I'm gonna look
forgets
that up when we're done.
he forgets to tell the last part. He goes good night, and then he comes back. He goes, wait, I forgot the fifth time I met OJ Simpson, and he goes the whole story, and it's so funny. But then he got when some other stuff was happening in the world, he got very, very political, and I just didn't find the jokes that funny. I felt like the bits were more of him kind of sharing his opinion rather than making a joke.
I
So,
know, right?
so I don't know where Chappelle's show is going to go, and I know that he always thought of focusing on stand up because although let's think of it this way too, guys. I mean, he turned down that 50 million. I think he probably recouped it all back when he came back from
Yeah.
his trip to Africa and did all those crazy stand-ups and hosted Saturday Night Live a bunch of times. Like I think that he definitely recouped all that money. But it's like I don't know how that would be because like I get nervous about reboots because like reboots don't always pan out or they last one
Yeah,
season
most of the
and
time
get
they don't.
canceled. They don't like
I can't think
Malcolm
of
in
a
the
good
Middle's
one.
having a reboot right now.
Yeah, I saw the
And
first episode of it.
yeah, I heard it's meh, but it's like I just don't know what to think about it. It's like Dave Chappelle, I get it, like he wants to go back into it, but people are gonna be like it's not the same because like
Yeah, and there's no
there's
more Charlie Murphy either,
well,
and
it's not even
stuff
just
like
that.
that.
Yeah, no more Charlie Murphy makes it sad, but I will have to tell you that like the boundaries that they pushed on that show back in the day,
There are new
Love
boundaries
it.
now.
you could not do them now. You
Says
couldn't.
who?
Says who? I mean
No,
society.
I'm serious. Says who?
I mean society, but like, I mean
But
like,
does he? Dave Chappelle doesn't care.
I mean, you're not. Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, you're not really supposed to smoke cigarettes on stage at SNL, and he still lit one
Yeah,
up.
he does that all the
That's what I
time.
mean. Like, I don't. I don't
He's not
dislike
afraid
Dave
of
Chappelle.
cancel culture. If
Yeah,
you
I don't. I don't just. Dave Chappelle. I think he sees cancel culture the way I've always seen cancel culture, which is that it's not real. If you have fans, you're not canceled. You might get yelled at, right? Yes. Will somebody yell at you in a Slate opinion article? Yeah, for sure. But if people still gonna pay to see your show, you didn't get canceled, right? Like if you're a person who makes their money in public and the public is still willing to pay you, your job is safe. You've not been canceled. You may lose a specific sponsorship. You may not be invited to join the SNL cast if you're someone like Shane Gillis, but ultimately you're not canceled because no, you still have a career. You still have everything else.
No,
So
yeah.
I think Dave Chappelle, if he wanted to push new boundaries, could. What I'm interested in, genuinely, was two things. One, what changed? He said the last few days he's been considering wanting to redo the show, like bring it back. I'm curious what has happened in his life or in the world or whatever that's made him think the Chappelle show would work now in a way he didn't think it would work even like a year ago. And then the other thing, and this one's a personal thing, and I've said this to Matt before, we got to get this show big if Chappelle comes in because if they do a haters ball, which they've done on the Chappelle show, one of the skits, Matt would be an excellent member of the haters ball. I've said that.
Mhm.
Matt would be fantastic. And so we have to get Matt on a haters ball if the show comes back.
Hmm.
So we'll have to figure
Okay.
out how
I'll
to
be
do
ready.
that.
I will tell you this though: the two of the funniest sketches I ever saw in my life were on Chappelle's show, and one of them was the racial draft, which was
Yeah.
so hilarious, and also young Bill Burr, by the way, in that sketch, which I didn't
Bill
realize.
Burr of the Riyadh Comedy Festival?
Yeah. And my second favorite one was The Secret Life of Wayne Brady. And that Wayne Brady was Wayne Brady in real life is
I
supposed to be
do
like the
know that
nicest dude, but the sketch was
Yeah.
he was secretly like a gangster, and he's like,
Do
wait,
know that one.
what are you doing? The movie theater's that way. He's like, let's gotta go handle some business. And he's like, He's like, okay, you want to go do? He's like, you want to go out and like see some girls? Or he's like, I'm playing with you. No, Dave, I gotta handle something real quick. And then he like rolls down the window, and there's these four dudes in an alley, and he goes, yo, and he goes, and they go, oh shit, it's Wayne Brady, and he takes out a gun. Oh, it was like one of the best skits I ever saw because I'm like, you just
Wayne Brady's funny too.
Oh, it's so funny. But I was like, if he's doing that though, here's the other thing though, is that Dave Chappelle did that for Comedy Central back in the day. And obviously it was censored and bleeped out because it's on national TV. So if he's doing Chappelle's show, it's gotta be Netflix, right? It's gotta be. Because
That or Paramount Plus.
There's no FCC regulations on streaming, so he could say whatever the fuck he wants.
That's definitely the
HBO.
move. And it'll be a big deal too.
HBO. It could be on Max too. It could be on Max.
Well, I'm gonna enjoy it. I hope he does decide to do it. I'm sure all of us will as well. And we'll have lots and lots to discuss when it breaks the internet. All right. I'm looking forward to this. I personally like this stuff. I'm a huge music fan. I'm interested in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and they just released their class of 2026. And this is quite a diverse group of performers. So the people who are joining the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2026, this includes Phil Collins. I love Phil Collins. I actually love his music. His music's really catchy. Collins. We got Billy Idol, White Wedding. That's really it. Rebel Yell.
Money, Money was a big one for when our parents were getting married, actually. Money, Money.
So that one. I don't know much else of his others besides him in The Wedding Singer, but hey, he's in. Look at that. Iron Maiden. They worship the devil. and they got rewarded for it. We have Joy Division / New Order. They're like a punk late 70s band from the UK. Similar to like the Smiths, if you know them. Sade. I did not realize from talking with older people how huge Sade really was in the 80s and 90s. She'd be like a Rihanna. Like she's literally Rihanna of the 80s and 90s. Huge.
And she was around while we were kids. Like I remember her. So
yeah, I don't think she's really much in the public anymore, but hey, awesome stuff for her. Luther Vandross. He has some really catchy songs. Wu-Tang Clan.
The RZA. The Jizza.
What were you sorry about? I cut you off.
I was gonna say Luther Vandross, he gets name dropped by like every modern rap artist now. He seems to be very influential within hip hop. I know he's not a hip hop guy, but I mean,
no, he's just like a Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not a hip hop guy, but like I mean, think about it. I can name off the top of my head 3 or 4 different rappers who at least once in the song that I can recall.
Such a great natural singer too.
Yeah,
and then we have Oasis. Just in time.
Well, of course.
Well, I
think they came back.
So yeah, this really is an awesome class. The first time nominees of that group that got in on their first try include Phil Collins as a solo artist, Luther Vandross of Wu-Tang Clan, and Phil Collins is already in as a member of the band Genesis.
Yeah. About to say this has to be in.
Yeah, so this is he'll now be a 2-time inductee. The people who were snubbed, who were actually nominated this year and didn't get in, include Mariah Carey. That's not good. I think she's like a literally top 10.
We could live without her.
Singer of all time.
I mean, she's got to be.
And she owns Christmas.
She's in soon. If she didn't get in this year, I mean, next year.
We got Miss Lauryn Hill. I think she'll eventually get in.
Another one who's almost certainly going to get in.
Miss Softly.
Shakira. I didn't even know she was around that long.
I love Shakira. But the tax thing could keep her out a little bit longer.
So yeah,
I forgot about that.
So you get inducted after you have to have your first. The rule is your first studio album has to be around for at least 25 years. Yeah. So you have to have a long career before you get in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In Excess, I don't know if it's in Excess or is it INXS. I know another.
I don't know how you say it either, but I don't like them that much for being honest.
I remember one of my favorite teachers loved that was his favorite band.
Really?
Oh, I should not. Don't tell me I'm blanking his name. but he was one of my favorite teachers. I can't think of
West
Mr.
Rocks?
Mr. Simonson from Norkai.
No, okay.
Pink. Again, I didn't know she was around that long either.
I did. My
Whoa,
mom liked Pink.
dude, Pink has been around for a long time. Like I remember when I was like 6 or 7 and I was seeing Pink's music videos on TV.
I guess that's also showing her age.
Yeah, we're just old now, Matt.
Pink also got famous like in her 20s. Like, she's been around a while. Like she got famous young. Most of those big singers got famous relatively young.
And the other was snub, New Edition.
Well, all right.
Cool it now, man.
It happens.
But yeah, I think out of all those, they'll all eventually get into.
No, they will.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I don't really care about what's it called.
I like the class.
INXS.
I like the class a lot though, and like I know that some people,
yeah.
and I know Gene Simmons said it, and there's a lot of people that probably do say it still, is that people don't like that these hip hop people get put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I actually think it's great, and it's not.
I do too.
And people are like,
just the Music Hall of Fame.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, maybe it's a diversity thing. I'm like, no, it's not a diversity thing. I'm like, nobody understands what people think of when they think of rock and roll. It's not just the guitar and like wow music. It's not just that. Like Ice Cube summed it up perfectly when NWA got in. He said, rock and roll is a lifestyle. And
yeah, that's a great way to put it.
And he said, like he basically said, like, what did we always call every single musician that we freaking loved growing up? We're like, that guy's a rock star. Like we used to say, like,
true.
Like that's what we would say. Like that woman's a rock star. That guy's a rock star. Like that's to me that's the lifestyle. Like you're like people probably thought in the 90s when NWA was in, they're like, man, that guy Ice Cube's a rock star. Like it's to me that's what I see with Wu-Tang. It's like people think that like they see how great like how great Method Man was, and they're like, man, that dude's a rock star. Like it's just like that's how it is. And hip hop artists have always talked about, when people ask like, what artist did you listen to? And a lot of interviews I've heard on shows, a lot of them will mention at least one very famous rock artist. Well, they'll all mention at least one, which means
and Luther
you hear them, and they sample them all the time. Too.
And their sound is very heavily influenced. Like look at Vanilla Ice sampled "Under Pressure" by Queen.
I don't know if I want to use him. He stole more.
But I'm saying that's an example of blending. So it's like it's like, and Eminem used "Dream On" by
what's it called? He used
the Stroke.
The Stroke. Billy Squire. I was about to say Billy Squire. The song disappeared from my brain, but in that one song, Matt, what happened to Melissa Etheridge? Wasn't she a nominee?
I think she was. I guess this wasn't her year. Another year then.
Man, I like her. You got to get Melissa in.
Yeah, also I like the class in general. I love Phil Collins. I've always loved Phil Collins.
His music is really catchy.
I don't think people appreciate Phil Collins enough nowadays because of the fact that not only did he take Genesis to the top, but after he went solo, he was just as big. And it's very hard to do that. Like not even Freddie Mercury was able to do that when he originally went solo. Like it's very hard to do that.
Can I say I like Phil Collins fine and all. But like I think I can name like maybe 3 Phil Collins songs.
Oh, you gotta look up to that. He's an amazing
three non-Tarzan. No, sorry.
There's like
I know
Another Day in Paradise, Can't Hurry Love, In the Air Tonight.
Okay, so Can't Hurry
Easy
Love,
Lover.
Can't Hurry Love is probably my favorite.
On My Way.
Do you remember? Yeah, On My Way. There's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm looking right now.
Never been a fan. Like never been a big fan.
On Spotify, 29 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
Oh, of which
that's
I'm
absurd.
One, by the way, because
which you are one. Yes,
of the Tarzan.
No. Can't Hurry Love, my opinion, his version is actually better than the original version of Can't Hurry Love. That's one. And then 2, I do obviously, In the Air Tonight, you put that on playlists all the time, or at least I do. So I still listen to him. He's not like my, oh my God.
But he's also, his prime was in the 80s. And I asked a family member, he said, yeah. Or she said, you would hear his song on the radio like once every 5 songs.
Oh, I'm sure I would have been so annoyed if I was there in the 80s because it would just been like, all right, and now one more time. Can you
Like,
feel
yeah,
it
that
in
was
the
his
air
thing.
tonight?
Well, it's also like with Phil
Dun-dun,
Collins
dun-dun,
too. It's like
dun-dun,
people
dun-dun.
also have to take in the accomplishments of these musicians too. Like Phil
True.
Collins wrote the soundtracks of 2 of the biggest animated hit Disney movies,
He
and
did do that.
and he
And they were
didn't have
mad
he,
catchy too.
he didn't have to go that hard, and he went hard, and he had hits with his band and hits on his own. Like he wrote almost
Band's already in,
yeah,
I will
he
say.
exactly, but he wrote the entire I believe he composed and recorded the entire soundtrack for Tarzan and Brother Bear, which by the way were 2 of the biggest hits of the 90s and early 2000s. Like the fact that he was and
Especially
also
What
Tarzan.
you
and the
most believe
and the
in.
Brother Bear music is actually no
What's-
one appreciates that soundtrack enough. I had that on my Spotify Wrapped one year. It was just it
The
was On
Brother
My
Bear
Way by Phil
soundtrack.
Collins, and it was fantastic. And I would play that while driving because
Dude,
it's
flashback.
it's such a great song and a
I
great
literally forgot about that song until you said
dude,
the name of it just now.
someone saw it because the picture of the song album on Spotify is the Brother Bear album. Like it's literally
Yeah.
just like that famous movie poster. And someone goes, "My man, is that Brother Bear?" I go, "On My Way" by Phil Collins. And he's like,
You know, I
"Okay,
have to
it's a great
say,
song."
so usually they ask, these performers if they could do a performance. Some do it, some don't. Phil Collins retired in 2022 due to health issues, and he requires 24-hour care right now. So if he
Mhm.
could pull off a performance, that'd be pretty huge.
Wait, when did he retire?
I don't know if he will, though. I mean,
2022.
Okay, I was about to say because when I was in New York once, I think it was like 2021, 22, and Genesis was actually performing at the Garden, and I didn't know they were still performing, and I'm guessing it was probably right after that because they sold out the Garden that night. And also I saw the sign that said Genesis. I was like, "Dude, Phil Collins is here?"
Genesis.
what?
I had no idea they were there.
Yo, Mariah Carey's been nominated 3 times. I guess I just don't like
Man,
her.
get Mariah in there. What is this?
Nick Cannon.
Mariah Carey is
I
the
swear to God.
only person I can confidently say beat Eminem in in a rap feud. Genuinely, I mean that sincerely.
So, just to wrap it up, the special category inductees include Rick Rubin, the famous producer. He's getting in for musical excellence. Queen Latifah. I love Queen Latifah.
Really?
Just
Queen
cause.
Latifah? I thought she
Yeah,
kind of went
she
more
got
into acting.
yeah, she's in for the early influence category, including Celia Cruz. I'm sorry, I don't know who that is. And Ed Sullivan. He got the Ahmet
Like the Ed
Edgrum
Sullivan show.
non-performer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're honoring him for introducing all these
Well, I
Well,
mean,
performers.
yeah, makes sense,
so
but
many musical artists back in that day made their debut on
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
show, which is
Yeah, so there you go. All right. Before we get to our questions of the day, my last story is a bit concerning. So
oh,
a report came out this week. This is from a Lending Tree study. They confirmed that it costs $303,000 to raise a child from birth to 18. First time it's cost $300,000 in the history of this study. So they're known, they study parenting trends and stuff. And they confirmed that it will cost $300,000 to raise a kid in the United States. That's about 16,857 per year. This does not include college. So add another 4 years of college. Now that's about $500,000 the way it's gonna go. They say childcare specifically are the biggest driver for kids under 5, and the most expensive state, it's a given, but it's Hawaii. It costs about $412,000. The total cost in the median household the total cost is approaching about $356,000 in the United States as a whole. It's like you'll find that in Nebraska. And yeah, about 77% of Americans in a recent CBS poll said it's harder to raise a family today than in past generations.
well,
Child rearing costs alone have risen 28% since 2023.
there's
So, I mean, this is given, but if you're having kids, go be expensive.
I
You
mean,
literally though, what's crazy? You said 16K a month was your thought, or what is the average?
16,000 K a year.
16K a year?
Yeah.
I mean,
According to this.
I mean, I happen to know what daycare costs in my neck of the woods. You're like almost a quarter of the way there on just daycare.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just daycare.
that's what they said. A
Yeah.
lot of this is
Not even
for
food or
children under
clothes or
5.
any medicine. Literally just daycare
well,
is like
it's
almost.
crazy too, because that's why people are like, people are like, oh God, like I hope, like that's why people are like, oh, you should always stay close with your family, right? Because like
That's what my brother does. My
grandparents
brother
is
and them
free
don't pay for
daycare,
childcare.
Oh, I didn't do that.
free daycare. So it's
Yay,
like
the
you can
Utts
knock
come to
that
the
out if you have a
rescue.
good relationship
Mama
there. But
Utts.
the other
Yeah,
thing,
my mom, like the way my brother's schedule and his girlfriend's schedule is laid out, my mom watches him on Mondays and splits with my grandma, and then my dad watches on Tuesdays, and then my brother, I think, is off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, whatever, the girlfriend's off. So it's like
yeah,
set up perfectly, so they don't have to
yeah,
pay
yeah,
for
got
childcare.
it. Your brother's got it made when it comes to childcare. But
Yeah, that's why I don't know if like having kids is like the greatest like idea. Like I don't know. I like go back and forth on it a lot. Like I think I
Mhm.
want kids, but then part of me's like they're expensive and also it's a lot of time and just
And
a
then they're
lot of
just
other
gonna yell
things.
all the time and cry. And I'm not trying to help the argument too, because I would like to be a father, but
I would too. Well, it's like
it's not easy right
well,
now.
the whole thing is
Shit.
it's like, I think my dad told me once like how expensive it can get, but the whole thing is too, it's like you also have to make sure that you're putting your money in the right places. Like first of all, to all these private daycares out there, I get that you have to make a profit. I get it. That's how the world works. That's how we function. That's how we live. We get paid, we make profits. I understand.
You
But
give me money. I
but
give you
your
money. You give me ideas.
exactly, but your prices can't be that high. That's the problem. Is that
They
most of
can
the
though.
no, yeah, well, you know what I mean. But most of the I actually think that most people in this country could probably afford private daycare if just the prices were a little bit lower. Like literally, like why are these places charging 10 grand to watch your freaking kid? Like you shouldn't do
I
that.
know,
Like
right?
you should like it's ridiculous. Like that's why so like this is the reason why like I get people want to send their kids to private school for when they're younger because they're like, "Oh, better education." But I'm like, this is also why people should also explore living in certain places to make sure your kids go to good public schools because then you're not
Oh
then
yeah.
because then you're not paying tuition. And that's the other thing too, is just these private daycares, because if people don't have a relationship with their parents where they can watch their kids, or if they or maybe their parents aren't around, then the private daycare should not be charging $1,000 a freaking day to watch your kid. That's just not how this should work because they should more prioritize keeping kids safe than profit. And they probably could figure out a way to still make some sort of a profit if they charge less than 10 grand a year. Like, it is amazing to me that that's the world we're living in.
So actually, I disagree. I don't. I mean, again, it
Brian,
works.
you want expensive daycare.
No,
You're like Jose, who wants the
I
businesses
very
to
much,
very much of that.
I very much do not want expensive daycare.
Daycare prices need to
But
go down, though. You do agree with that, right? Those private daycares shouldn't be charging all that money.
no, I don't agree with that. That's the part I don't agree
You're
with.
like Jose. I want the businesses to charge more.
No, it's not about wanting that. I don't want them to charge more, but I think we have to be honest. To run the daycare, obviously, is multiple staff members. You have to pay all those staff members. There is a cost to having kids. The kids are going to eat. The kids are going to have activities. That would be the case whether they were home with you or at daycare. That cost is at most fixed. You can, again, maybe cut down a little bit to what it would be like if it was at home. You also have all of the insurance costs that are required because if something bad happens to a kid at a daycare that doesn't have a high insurance premium, then mom or dad is going to take every dollar that that daycare has. And we have proven that as a society. One mistake and someone will take everything you've ever owned. So, no, I don't know how you make it cheaper. I think the thing that needs to be changed is that no one is getting paid enough. I mean, that's to me the main
The
issue.
the ultimate
Too.
fixer.
If people could
Minimum wage should
afford
be $50 an hour.
if people could afford daycare if their salaries were higher or their hourly was higher, I would also say a thing you could do and should do in general is we should cut down what the work week is. There is certainly 40 hours a week should be like the most people are working for the most time. And I mean all people, by the way. I understand some businesses are going to be open on the weekends. I'm good with that. That's why you hire more folks. Everyone has roughly 40 hours a week. That should be the max. Some people should be even less. The fact that we have people working on salaries 60, 70 hours a week still can't afford daycare. That's not the daycare's fault. That is their employer's fault. I also do think that every other cost is frankly gone up too. The
Well,
idea
no,
that the daycare is the one that needs to go down. I mean, we
Just be
bought a
like
house.
Bonjani. Offer the free health. Offer the free
Listen,
childcare.
I am
also
a
that whole
hundred
free
percent.
childcare is also a load of crap, by the way.
I am
There's so many
hundred
people
Oh
that
yeah.
percent
come through
good
to
with
get
free.
it.
I'm 100% good if we can figure out a way to make government subsidized, but we can't probably. So I'm just saying, as a general rule, to buy a house in that good school district, you're already gonna have to put 600K down. That's just to start, and then you have to pay the mortgage on that, the electricity and the gas, both of which have gone up because of the misadventures of our current government. You have then your own health care. You've got your own bills you have to pay. It's just there's no one solution in terms of this is the thing that costs too much. Everything costs too much because we don't get paid enough. We have to fix the root problem, which is that prices are high and wages are not.
Well,
I
that's another
definitely
thing,
hear
right?
that.
Like
One
that.
question, really quick, Brett, and then I have one more question here before we do the next segment.
Well, yeah, sorry, Matt. Well, like that's a whole
Like,
other thing. That's a whole other thing too, is that like, people move to certain areas, right? Like I'll give you an example. Like my family moved to the town I grew up in because they did the research and they're like, okay, like my public schools have since gotten better, but they're like, okay, like there's a solid school district here and it's an up and coming neighborhood. And they told me, I'm not going to say the price, but they told me what they paid for our house back then. Nothing compared to what it could be worth now if someone was buying in my hometown because it's exploded and boomed. And now the elementary school that I went to, which used to start in kindergarten, now starts in preschool. There's preschool there now because so many people have moved in, which makes costs go up because now there's an influx of people coming in, which makes systems better. But the whole thing is too is that you want to try and move to those areas, but then the problem is once someone finds out that one thing is good, more people come in, prices go up. There has to be some societal fix. And, obviously people budget. I get that people put money aside. And there's so many things that cost money. And obviously we're not paid enough. But there's certain professions that I think if their payment went up could really balance society out. And there are certain professions that need that. And one of those are educators or people who work in schools. Because if their prices went up, that could balance out some financial deficits we have, right? Because then those people could afford to live more, and then the schools have better quality people and don't have so many issues internally, which also costs parents money. So that's another thing. And obviously daycare workers who just watch kids during the day, they deserve a little more money in their payment because they're dealing with kids sneezing on them all day long. So my mom's a preschool teacher. She's sick like
It's
once a
gross,
month.
yeah.
Like it's disgusting.
oh,
And I don't even know how much my mom makes, but she deserves more pay for dealing with 3-year-old kids every day.
Yeah.
Like there are certain
yeah. Pay
fields.
Brett's mom, people.
Pay Karen. But there are certain professions that, so like there's some professions in this country that make a lot of money that deserve the money they make and they should stay where they are. Doctors deserve the money they make because they are performing life-saving procedures on a daily basis and making sure that we are healthy. But same with, and nurses deserve more money as well. Nurses and teachers, if their pay was a little higher, or these people who work in retail who have high positions at a retail job, were making a little more money. Think about the balance that could happen
Amen.
within society where we wouldn't have to be paying as much
It's
because
time for you to run for mayor.
other
Just
people in the world would benefit from higher
more
paid
money.
teachers.
More
I
money
agree.
in people's pockets.
Totally agree. And just the last question. I think when I was reflecting this, I was thinking about who in my life, of my friends who are married, and I'll count my family too, who actually have children. And I've been to since college, I've been to 8 weddings since college.
Mhm.
Only 2 of them, sorry, I should say one of them has a child, and the other one has a child on the way. So that really reflects on this poll. And then my cousin recently had a child as well, baby Nora. She's awesome. But yeah, but they get a lot of help too, and couldn't imagine. And there, I just see people who are irresponsible and have kids. With all due respect, I mean, no child. I'm not saying the child's a mistake, but you got to have the reality of this expensive world we in, and it's if you're gonna bring somebody into it, you better be prepared. And
Yeah,
it
and you
seems
do
that
make
a
it
lot of
work.
people, and it seemed the people, it made sense for the two people, or I should say one, even though he doesn't shut up about it, with his child, and then the other one who's on the way, who that's cool. It makes sense, but they're also very high paying. They also are, for lack of a better word, really rich people. So yeah, they come from rich families. Well, not with all due respect. You want to get mad if I say this. Not the one with the kid on the way, but
I mean,
he's made it for himself.
but
So
we
he
talk. I
earned it.
mean, we talk about it all the time. My wife and I. I mean, now that we have the house, that's why we got the house. Is in an attempt to maybe someday have more people in it. But yeah, I think that you just have to. I mean, if you're interested in it, and I think it's good. Obviously, survival of the species, all that stuff, and it's just fun. I would assume to be a dad or a mom. But you do have to, one, think about the cost, and two, just understand that it is gonna suck a little. It's not gonna be fun all the time because it does cost money.
It'd
There are
probably
gonna
suck
be
a lot, to be
issues.
Well,
honest.
yeah,
Yeah,
you know what's
yeah,
also
I said a little. I was trying to be nice, man. Yes, there's gonna
well,
be many times that suck while you're a parent, but it's something that you do if you
it
feel
seems
called to do that. You know what I
like I
mean?
said,
Like
you know
you
what's
make
even
it
crazier,
work.
by the way? This is insane. So, do you know that we are the only country on this planet, I think besides like Canada maybe, that recreational activities we have to pay for?
sounds
Like
about right.
What does
like
that mean?
it's so we're so when it comes to sports, like if you want to
Hmm.
get your kid into sports, right? We're the only country on this planet that has pay to play.
Huh?
All
Really?
that's why there are countries that in certain sports are superior to America because they don't have to pay to play the sport. I think it's like public school and it goes within to your taxes. So it's like
Mm.
that's why
Typical.
guys
You
that's
can't
why
say taxes in America. People get mad.
exactly. That's like I mean public school goes into your taxes. You're not
And
paying I
I paid
So it's like
$194 to get my
so
taxes
that's
done
why
at this
they
point.
said that's what like think of the greatest athletes on the planet, and we're not talking about people in American sports. We're talking about around the planet. Lionel
Who can
Messi.
afford to have children?
Oh yeah,
They can.
Lionel Messi is one of the greatest athletes that has ever been alive, and he came from this disgustingly poor, dangerous neighborhood of Argentina. But because there's no pay to play there, he gets this free
There you
access
go.
and he rises into the ranks and becomes this crazy monstrosity of an athlete. Now, that's another problem, right? Because that's a recreational activity. After school, we want to send our kids to things so they can make friends and do something they like. But guess what? That's another expense here in America. Whereas in other countries, they might not do that. So it's just like, it's insane to me that like that's the drive here. It's just all you got to pay to do this. You got to pay to do that. I get you got to pay your water bill. You got to pay your heat. I get that. You got to pay for utilities. That's normal in life. But paying for all this other stuff to me, like they say that's why US soccer is terrible because we have a pay to play system and not everyone can afford to pay. So it's just like that's why all the rich kids do it. So it's that's why we're in this spot. That's why partially why we're in this spot is because so many activities that people want to send their kids to, we have to pay exorbitant amounts of money. Like it's insane. Even if you want your kid just to go to an after school program that's not sports, you still have to pay for it. It's ridiculous.
No wonder why we're so stressed. And well, Ryan, well, let's get some more sponsors before you start your family. So we'll be on the clock for that. And yeah, I mean, like the most important thing we can get out of this, we're gonna have to figure it out if you want, but it's okay if you want to take another direction too.
Yeah,
It's not that weird to not have kids right now.
it's a personal deal. You got to make
Yeah,
it work if you have them.
the
Can't
average
ban
age
them, but
the average age of becoming a parent to your first child is steadily increasing anyway. So there's no
mhm.
need.
Exactly. I don't think I'll have kids until my 40s, to be honest. But that's okay.
That's okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Plenty of people who do that.
let's do that. Probably a cool old dad.
The
Silver
wise old
Fox,
man.
Matt. Silver Fox.
That's right, Silver Fox.
That is. I'm not gonna be Robert De Niro. Hell
It'll
no.
be
But
you and
it'll be fine with me.
Harvey Levin as the Silver Fox crew.
The
Let's
straight
keep getting to.
version.
Well, yes, exactly. Well,
Straight
well,
Harvey Levin.
well, let's keep getting to work so we can get more revenue to have those families. Let's do our questions of the day, everybody. And my first question to you, I got a couple for you. We talked about music just now about Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So my first question is, what is the best era of music? Gonna keep it broad. Just tell me the best era. Is it the Taylor Swift era? Is it the jazz era? Is it the 70s rock? Is it the punk movement? Is it the beginning of hip hop? Is it the mumble rap? You tell me what the
Is it
best
the
era of
Baroque
music
era?
is.
Is it the
I
Romantic
love the
era?
90s.
Yeah, really, 90s music really. Because
Yeah.
that's such a great
Or
balance of all
early
genres.
2000s.
I go crazy for early 2000s pop punk music. That is my shit.
Yeah, it's like my favorite music is country, but like I didn't listen to it back then because I was so young. I didn't really get into it till I got older. So I will say that I think the best era is from my lifetime, from what I remember, is the late 90s, early 2000s, um early days of rap when you had like fast track music with like rappers and pop artists blending together. And honestly, I'll have no shame in admitting this from all the documentaries I've watched and songs that come up on my playlist. I have to tell you, that 90s like pop, like boy band, girl band era,
Dirty pop.
that was pretty lit because there were some other solo artists that came out of that turned out to be stars. I mean, we got Justin Timberlake out of that. We got Britney out of that. Like there was like that was because those music award shows back then we used to watch back then because of
Whoa.
all these amazing artists like that up to like 2010 probably was my favorite era.
These are all really good choices.
Yeah, I think I would have to say too, like we'll go from 1996 to 2005.
I was born.
See, that's how you know when Allison was born and when we had a renaissance of hip hop and rock, if you ask me.
I came out and the world said, let's do it. So
Okay, I need to make this
Alrighty.
first before Ryan picks. I have to make this point
Yankees won the World Series that year.
because
Good year.
because I want you guys to laugh at this music thing. Is that I saw this thing that said look up the song the day you were born. What song was #1 on the Billboard charts? And
That's a
that
good
song
idea.
and said and that song describes you. And I looked up and this was right when this particular scandal was coming to the news, and I almost wanted to cry because the song that was the #1 hit on the Billboard charts when I came out on my birthday of June 19th, 1997 was oh my God, was Missing You by P. Diddy,
Oh,
which was a sample of
that's a
Sting,
tough
by the
one.
way. And I was like, and it was right when the Diddy news was breaking out. I'm like, really? A Diddy song on my birthday? That doesn't describe me at all.
Oh,
Wait,
this
what's
definitely
mine?
this
Can you
definitely
look mine up,
describes
Brett?
me.
I'm
Is this
looking up Allison's right now.
birthdayjams.com?
Mine.
Google it.
Oh,
Yeah.
bended. This is good. Oh, Bended Knee by Boys to Men was the #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100 when I was born, December 31st, 94.
Madonna was #1. Take a
No,
Bow.
no, you what?
Allison,
Take a
Allison,
Bow was #1 in
Wait.
March 27th,
wait, guys.
1995.
Jesus,
Guys,
Billboard Hot
listen to
100.
Allison's. This is great. The #1 song on August 29th, 1996 on the US Billboard Hot 100 was The Macarena.
Oh, that's great.
That's literally perfect.
The Bayside Boys Macarena mix by Los Del Rio was Allison's #1 hit song.
I hate my life.
You
The
literally have one of the most
Macarena.
popular songs of all time.
Literally hate my life.
So I'll say, in honor of Madonna allegedly having a big hit song in 1995, everybody else has picked great ones. That's where most of the music I listen to comes from. I'll say the 1980s rock and roll hair kind of thing. the hair music. So we got the big hair, you got the big outfits, you got loud guitars, full stadiums. It seemed like every effing band that came out in the 80s was like a superstar. Again, a rock star, for lack of a better word. They created that archetype. So I'll go with the 80s rock and roll, the hair bands and whatnot. That's
Do
who
you ever
I'll pick.
notice too about those bands, by the way, Ryan? Do you ever notice that whenever those artists talk in interviews now, it seems like none of those bands ever hated each other. They never felt like they were in competition. Like they'll
Yeah, there wasn't any beef.
like Steven Tyler goes on stage with Slash. They were in two competing bands, and they all talk about other rock artists from that time as if they were just like the most beautiful, amazing, greatest people on the planet. I'm like, no one was beefing back
I
then.
think they were all high. I won't lie to you. I think that
Yep.
probably helped.
That definitely helped.
But
I've never heard Ozzy badmouth anybody back when he
I,
was.
in fairness, if you did, you wouldn't know because you can't understand what he was saying. And
Yeah.
I understand R.I.P. Love Ozzy, but that's just a true statement. And if you're offended by it, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, before he lost all of his way to speak, I
Sharon, I don't. No. I didn't mean it that way. I meant even when he was fully in his capacity to speak, he always just said wild shit. He was
no,
just.
yeah, he did, but he did,
It was very hard. He's very hard to understand with the
he did,
accent,
but he
and he
didn't
slurred.
slur. He didn't slur like he did when he got older. But even when he was like not slurring his words, I never once heard him say that guy sucks. Never
Oh
once.
no,
Like,
I'm just so proud. Mine is a Boys to Men song. Sounds about right.
hey Madonna, she's great. Never
wait,
heard her take a
do we get
bow, but
Allison's
go for
answer?
it.
Allison, what's your favorite era? Do we get your answer?
She
Yeah.
said,
We did. Okay, she said that rap. Okay, I was about to say I didn't remember what she said.
yeah,
No,
she
yeah,
said we had the same answer pretty much, late 90s, early 2000s.
I missed those 2000s days. Like I saw this thing on TikTok and it was like nothing and it was growing up in a community that did this. It was like there was nothing like going to a childhood friend's bar mitzvah and jumping around to I Got a Feeling by the Black Eyed Peas. I was like that is just like
Oh
I'm like that
man,
was such a
that was a
That's a
vibe.
good
song.
one.
Or it said screaming out every single word to shots even when it was
Dun.
bleeped out. I miss
All
elementary.
right, I only have one more question for y'all tonight. And the question is, who is the most underrated celebrity right now? Who is the
Mhm.
most underrated celebrity? Who doesn't get enough credit who doesn't get the credit they deserve as a celebrity?
Interesting.
You, I could probably
This is a
say.
good question, right? We need to appreciate
Drew Barrymore lately has been popping up on my timeline.
that's a great one. I love
Her
Drew
show's
I love
actually
her.
good. She's got a good show. And she's funny.
It's my twin.
Barry. Honestly, my answer I had for a second is Jake Gyllenhaal, but I learned he's a bad Swift ex.
Yeah.
But Jake
Ooh.
Gyllenhaal, the actor, he's a damn good actor. What can I say? But that's not my true. I'm trying to think of like underrated actors.
I'm trying to think of just celebrities as a whole. Like there's a lot of great. Do you know who I think is an underrated celebrity? I mean, people think he's a star, but I don't think people realize like how cool he actually is. Is is Luke Combs? Like I don't think people realize how
He's
underratedly
good.
cool Luke Combs really is as a dude, and how much he appreciates like music and how like when he gets inspired by art, he doesn't want to take anything. Like his Grammy performance with Tracy Chapman was one of the
Hmm.
greatest television
Very
moments
good.
of the Grammys, in my opinion. And he said that he didn't want to change a single note of that song because he loved Tracy Chapman too much and he loved that song so purely. He didn't want to change a single note because if he did, it would make it a Luke Combs original, and he didn't want to do that. And I think that says a lot about him as a celebrity because I'm just like he gets all the money, he has all the fame, but he's just a very pure dude, and I do appreciate that
I
as like an
like that.
artist.
Another underrated actor that I would say, Willem Dafoe. Honestly, like
The
I don't
Green
think we
Yeah.
Goblin.
realize how, yeah, Green Goblin, how wide his range really is.
We say
He
he was
really
also
could do anything.
he is one of the best superhero villain actors that we've ever seen. Like his portrayal
Absolutely.
of Norman Osborn in the Green Goblin was low key so terrifying, but it was so good.
absolutely brilliant. And he's been around for 4 decades, like hit after hit after hit after hit. He's only been nominated once for an Oscar, which is
At Eternity's Gates.
horrible. Absolutely
So
horrible.
I'll say
We need to fix that.
the first name that came to mind, and I don't know why, so I'm just gonna say it because it'd be fascinating psychoanalysis, is Alison Brie. I don't know why.
Yeah,
that?
that's a really good
Alison
one.
Brie, she was in a Community. That's probably what most people know
Oh,
her
okay.
from. But I
Mad
loved
Men.
her in Glow. She was in Mad Men.
Oh, I loved Glow. Glow was a great show.
Yeah, so I don't know why, but when you asked the question, my brain immediately was like, "Oh, Alison Brie," as if that was the most
She's
natural
really funny.
answer. So I'm gonna say her. Yeah, I think she's super talented. We've seen her do a range of things, but nothing like massive, massive. Like she's kind of been on the precipice of some big breaks without ever actually breaking all the way through. So I would love to see her maybe do that, which I mean, obviously not my choice. It comes down to the roles she takes and audience perception. But I think she's great. I think she's funny. I think she's charismatic. I think she can be, authentic and serious and stuff as needed, at least to a degree. So I like Alison Brie. I think that's what my pick's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
I have another
She has
one.
a great name.
She has a great name.
I like Paul Dano too, and I like Paul Dano because he always
Can't
reminds me
tell.
of this girl I dated, a very lovely girl
That's
in
crazy.
Turkey. She's from Turkey. She was the biggest Paul Dano fan I've ever met in my life.
Okay.
It's amazing. Like, is this the American culture you were introduced to?
Yeah,
She
Paul
lived.
Dano.
I was living in Jersey City. She lived in West New York, New Jersey, so up the line of Hudson County, and just yeah, Paul
I
Dano.
You said West New York, New Jersey.
There's a town in
Yeah.
I
New Jersey
find that
called
I
West
know
New York.
my boss used to live there. I went to we had people hang out at her place every once in a
Nice
while.
little.
I thought it was so funny that West New York, New Jersey. I always
It's
laugh
literally
every time we
west
went.
of New
America.
York.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. It's
literally
just New
west of New
Jersey,
York.
west of New York, and so they're just like, I don't know, West New York, New Jersey.
Like them all them Fort Lee.
Yeah. No, again, I know
Uh,
the area. I've been there.
Northburg. I'm
but-
saying they all feel like the same town though to me.
Oh
I-
yeah.
Well,
That
yeah.
whole area of Jersey just feels like one large city, if we're being honest.
Yeah, Hudson County.
Yeah.
I also want to say another underrated celebrity, guys, is definitely, and people are gonna like people know who she is and they know her songs and everything, but I don't think that she gets enough credit. Is Pink? I don't think Pink gets
There
enough.
you go. Our second Pink references of the day. That's how
I
you know.
really don't. I really don't think she gets enough credit. Like I saw something the other day because she was on Howard Stern like a couple years ago, and everyone was like, "Why does no one talk about how great her voice is?" Like everyone's like, "She's so like she's natural too. She's not auto-tuned." Like it's like I don't think people realize just how great she actually is.
My answer to
She's
that
a
is I
therapist.
guess she
You ever
was
hear her
just
talk? She's great.
because she was just in an era with so many pop stars that she kind of got lost in the mix. That'd be my theory.
Speaking of auto-tune, T-Pain, great singer.
He is a
Oh,
good
yeah.
singer.
Have you ever
People
heard
don't
it?
get people
The-
don't know.
the
He's
irony.
great.
Plugged, I'm in love with the stripper. So good.
Have you ever heard his
He won the
cover
Masked
of,
Singer.
He's good.
did you ever hear his cover of War Pigs by
Oh,
Ozzy?
it's great.
Oh, it's what Ozzy Osbourne actually said.
It's his favorite one. Yeah,
He said it's his favorite cover of that song.
I
of
swear
all
to God,
time.
he said that's his favorite.
That's a win
genuine.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I think he tweeted that.
It's also
Yeah.
really funny because that's his favorite cover, and then yet in his will he left all of his library to Youngblood.
Well, whatever. But no, what's it called? I always I was a Masked Singer fan.
I
Right.
think that show's so
I don't watch it
So
anymore,
stupid.
but I was a fan for a while.
dumb
And this is the
show.
first season. And if you had told me at the beginning of the first season that T-Pain was going to outsing Donny Osmond and Gladys Knight, literally a legend in Gladys Knight, that's who got third place, I would have been like, probably not, dude. That's an insane guess. But that's exactly what happened. So, you know what I mean? Like, T-Pain, he's the other one.
T-Pain is a great guy, an awesome artist.
All right, let's wrap this up and have our nuclear opinions. You give me your hottest, boldest, most controversial, juicy, and lovely take on this world we live in right now. In this world we live in right now, I should say. My nuclear opinion is Michael Douglas is a great actor, but he's not everybody's favorite actor. How does that work? You ever notice? Does that make sense?
No.
I feel like when he, I think he was, I think he was everybody's favorite actor during a certain point.
He's never my favorite.
When,
Back to the 80s, yeah.
when he was in the movies like Wall Street and all that stuff, he was everyone's favorite actor. But the problem is he can't be anyone's favorite actor. He can't really be the masses' favorite actor anymore because there's so many top actors that are also here now. So like there's really he also hasn't had a big role since what? Like Ant-Man? Like it's like
That and the Gracie and Frank show.
oh
That was
Grace
big
and
on
Frankie.
Netflix.
Yeah, Grace and Frankie. Forgot about that
So
show.
I
Oh, and
heard
the
that take from
Connection.
a podcast and I seconded. I'll come up with a non-film nerd one, but you guys come up with.
I got one.
You
Go,
tell me
Ryan.
yours.
This is actually just recently. I was going through YouTube and I listened to Gangnam Style. You know that song,
Die.
Yeah,
but
of course.
not by Psy. It was by a group called the Cleverly Band. I think it's the Cleverly Band. They're like a bluegrass band, but they're not serious. They're a comedy group. And I was just going through after I heard them. Again, I thought it was funny. It was great. And I was thinking of like the Dan Band and these other groups. And there's not enough funny singers, is really the my nuclear opinion. We think about it. There are actors who specialize, and I mean specialize in comedies only. Like, I mean, Adam Sandler forever. Will Ferrell's done like maybe one thing that was even quasi serious. Like Kevin Hart has never been in a role that wasn't just himself screaming.
No,
Like
he's been in one series. He's been in a couple serious roles, and one of them was a fantastic movie, The Upside. He has a very serious role in that movie. He's great in that movie.
That's
All
the
right.
one with the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah, he becomes the guy's like aide, and he's
I'm
like
gonna pretend that one didn't exist to make my point, but that's good to know. I will watch that.
great with him and Bryan Cranston and Nicole Kidman.
Oh wow, that's like a great cast. Anyway, so point being, there are whole people, Jack Black, who only do comedies for acting. But we don't have that. Like we don't have that for music really. Weird Al. It's the last
Yeah.
time we had that. And he's hasn't been relevant in a long time. So I think, a nuclear opinion, we need more comedian singers. We need more people who are singers and are comedians.
We got Bo
We thought
Burnham.
we had Bo Burnham, and then he keeps disappearing, and more power to him. But it's hard to have when you only come back every 10 years, like a lunar eclipse or something. So I just think there needs to be more of them. There's not enough. There should be more. We need more funny songs and more funny artists to break through.
So you need more comedy singers.
That's right.
Okay, I can go with that.
It's a thug story.
It's a Doug story.
Have you heard
Um,
that with Taylor Swift and T-Pain?
I have not. That's great.
Look it up right
I'm
now.
inspired.
Can you please look it up,
Oh,
Matt,
yeah.
just for this point? It's called Thug Story, and I could sing you the whole song right now.
Is that a
And it's
Saturday Night Live
country-
video?
Is it really them?
It's OG country Taylor Swift with her blonde curls, and I'm dead serious. It's so funny.
Well, yeah. Like,
While
what
we
was
set
this
that
for?
up, just give me your last two, and we'll sign off with that. I promise.
I would say mine would be, this is I always have a few nuclear opinions every day,
I've
but
seen this song before.
I always have a few.
I
Uh,
have not.
I always say there's one thing there's just one thing I thought of today because I keep seeing videos about it and I keep seeing videos about it and then upon more research I realize it's kind of true is that Peter Dinklage is low-key an asshole.
Yeah.
I think it's
And-
high key.
A lot of
Yes.
people in the little people community hate him. He's
Yeah, because
responsible for taking people's roles.
Yeah, because apparently he said that like they shouldn't be casting little people for little people roles. And people were like, well, and people were like, well, what gives you the authority? You were in that terrible movie Tiptoes about
Yeah.
people with Matthew McConaughey. Like I see all these interviews, I
yeah.
see all these people saying the same thing. Brad Williams, Dylan Postel, aka Hornswoggle. They're all saying the same thing. And I'm like, and all these other actors too. I'm like, and comedians, I'm like, really? I'm like, I never knew that this man was so universally hated. And quite frankly, now I'm like, I think this guy sucks. And he's from Jersey like me. And I'm like, man, I never thought I
He's
would
a good
you.
actor too.
He's a
He-
phenomenal actor. I'm
he is a
willing to
phenomenal
forgive.
actor. I mean, it's
I'm
like,
not an
He's
actor
an
though,
He's
so
an
maybe
asshole. Like
that's
Peter
why.
Dinklage, you're an asshole. Like you are an asshole. Like let all these famous. I mean, Brad Williams is fine now because he's killing it in comedy. But I'm like, let
It's
these guys get
hilarious.
movie roles, man. Let them get movie roles. Fuck you, Peter Dinklage.
My nuclear opinion, watermelon is such an underrated fruit.
I
And the
don't like
season's about to
watermelon.
start.
I love it
What?
on the beach in the summertime. It's great.
I think
I
I need to
love
try it
watermelon.
more because I wasn't really exposed to watermelon so much.
Oh
Like I
yeah,
didn't
I
really
guess
dig
Gotta
I
on
guess
it.
like buy it. You gotta like buy it fresh though. You can't like get that
yeah.
packaged one at the
If you
beach
get like a
stands. You gotta get like you gotta like go get one and cut it up and like
Get them from the people in the subway.
no. They're like holding up a
that's
thing.
a
They're like
that's a
mango,
risk.
mango, mango, mango.
No,
That's what
I
they do.
remember.
They're crazy.
Oh.
Mango, 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 mango. Watermelon's amazing. All right, I think that's that. Wait, why isn't this connected? Anyone hear this?
Yep.
Oh my god.
So, as we sign off, I want to thank all the amazing people who listened and watched on YouTube. We'll be back at it on Monday with 3 sports conversations regarding baseball, basketball playoffs, and the NFL draft. And then we're back at it with another tweet cap on Tuesday and Friday. Thank you to Ryan Allison and Jose. Sorry, Ryan Allison and
Whoa.
Brett. Ryan Allison and Brett Jose. My name is Matt Brown. I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And we'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
T Swizzle, T
Ladies and
Pizzle.
gentlemen.